morning. Welcome to the Beans Volume 2, where I talk about some mental health stuff that affects me personally. Volume 2 is the second one. And the second thing would be mortality, anxiety. So I'll make this quick. First time it happened to me was when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Got diagnosed with double pneumonia. And the doctor said if I had waited one more day to come, I probably wouldn't have made it. Um, and there was that. Then second time, like you really don't understand it from when you a child or nothing like that. You don't face it until seemingly years later. But I also grew up rough environment where a lot of people didn't make. I have friends that have been murdered. Um, People that's been close to me, and a lot of people just going out naturally, but in a way kind of unnatural when you think about a developed society. It was much more heinous, wild stuff going on. Um, I remember the second time stuff really started to hit when I feel like I'm skipping this time, but I was smoking one day with my homeboys, and we're in their college dorm, and I'm going in traffic on the way home, and this had never happened before. My chest just started, my heart just started beating real fast, real fast. And so when that started happening, I started to panic, and this was the first time I ever had like that real conversation that people talk about with God. Like you think it's about to be over with, and you start having a real conversation with God. I was just begging to make it home and things of that nature. And I eventually made it home, but it was a terrible, terrifying experience. And, come to find out, that was my first time having a panic attack. But I didn't know nothing about a panic attack at the time, and I didn't know what caused it. And so I kept smoking. Not that day, but probably the next day or something like that. Because at that point, I was just, on it every day. And I remember um, it started to happen a lot more often, the panic attacks and things of that nature. And it happened every time. So I realized, damn, I can't smoke. And so, that became like something. And then it happened when I didn't smoke. So then I just started to think I was having heart issues, went to the cardiologist, then jumped out of moving cars, off the panic attack, all type of stuff. Because my anxiety levels is extremely high now because I don't know what's going on. But I remember what time I did skip. It was two profound moments before my first panic attack, actually. The first time was um, when I realized that life is not a forever thing, and I was talking to well, before I was talking to two of my homies. Um, Once I get obsessed with stuff, I start overthinking it, and so I start overthinking death itself. So I became obsessed with immortality and things of that nature, and that led me to a guy named Ray Kurzweil, who's a futurist, talks about immortality, talks about extending his life and things of that nature. And I became obsessed with his work, like really obsessed with his work, and work surrounded it, mostly him. And one day, I let my obsession come to light because I was having a conversation with two of my good friends, and they're listening, hearing me out, but I see the reaction on their face when I kind of got done. One of them was like, "Well, bro," like basically he was explaining how he was beginning to explain why it was unrealistic. And another one, I'll never forget this moment. I like he looked at him, he just shook his head, like just don't even do it, bro. Because and I realized they didn't have to say nothing. I just looked forward and I just realized in that moment that it didn't matter what he said in the sense of like trying to comfort me or trying to get me to see the light. It doesn't matter what he say, she say, or anything like that. You can't stop the inevitable. And so that was a crushing moment for me, um, but a needed moment. Um, and I respect they stopped them in the moment because there was nothing needed to be said at that moment. And there's another time the same friend that shook his head. One time I asked him while we was driving, I think I had just fallen into this pit, and I told him, I was like, man, you ain't scared about about it being over with one day. He was like, bro, of course I'm scared, but he shook his head again, and I was like, damn, bro, damn. So I spent a lot of years stressing about that. Every day I actually still stress about it. Um, and that was been I'm 28 now. That happened around when I was 21 or 22. I'm gonna say 22. So 6 years of like wild stuff happening. Like I said, jumping out of moving cars, all type of stuff, and I actually, you know, have lost people since then, and currently has somebody I love dearly fighting for their life, and that's why I came up that I wanted to make this video, um, being it the Beans Volume 2 about mortality and anxiety and stuff like that. And hopefully y'all got some from this. If y'all also go through similar stuff, feel free to reach out. Follow Stories by the Vigilante YouTube channel. Get in the comments, comment your situation, or just drop your contact information, like your social media or whatever, and we'll get in tune. And I'll give you some of my resources. If you just need somebody to talk to about it, hit me up. Let's attack this mental health journey together. And thank you. I appreciate it.